Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé. Let's get to it.
There's lots of different businesses that you could actually walk to work if you needed to.
He can't work right now. Day 90, we file for the adjusted visa for him to be like a legal immigrant, but right now he's not legally allowed to work.
Are you okay with that?
What is happening right here? So the friend is like, you know, you could go to work. You're not here on vacation. Rebecca's like, he can't work. It's illegal for him to work. And then the friend's still in that zone of trying to attack him for not working. And so she's like, Rebecca, are you okay with that? But Rebecca being okay with it has no difference on what happens. He can't work. I don't know.
I was taking care of myself before he got here.
But now you're responsible for taking care of him, Rebecca.
What is the point of this line of questioning? They're forced into this. The government is not allowing him to work. So the only way for the two of them to get married and live in the United States is if they go through this phase. So Rebecca's feelings about it, it's just, I think she's in this, I think she came over with this mindset of just like, I'm going to blast him for not getting a job, and that's what I'm going to go on. And then she didn't expect this curveball of like, it's illegal for him to work. And so she's still in that mode, and she can't get off of that mode.
And it kind of gets you back into that whole situation again. I'm not trying to compare you with the ex, but there are similarities. Rebecca, tell me how it's different.
Yikes. So now I actually trust that Rebecca will be able to answer this question. She is pretty differentiated and pretty mature. And so I'm guessing she'll say something like, Zied is nothing like him. Yeah, there's some similarities in terms of the visa and he's from across the Atlantic Ocean. But Zied is actually nice. He's a good person. He doesn't control me. We have a mutual relationship. He doesn't force me to do things that I don't want to do. That's the difference. So let's see what Rebecca says here.
Are similarities. Rebecca, tell me how it's different.
It's a different person. He's a different man.
Both young, both from North Africa, and now we're at the same apartments. Didn't you and your ex live down the hall?
Yikes. Okay. So the big plot point of this storyline has now arrived. And who cares? And I see in the comments below people making jokes about like, did you know that, Rebecca is the same human being who actually was with someone else? Like, I hope you get the joke anyway. Did you know that we're in the same state that Rebecca used to be in another relationship? Like, because it's like, who cares that an apartment down the hall, she used to be with someone else, and it has no bearing on anything. And I'm guessing Zied's going to be like, who cares? But we'll watch.
What?
I mean, the other thing is, why that building? There could have, is that the only building that they could have lived in? But regardless, it doesn't matter. And I'm guessing Zied's not going to care, or at least if he cares, he's going to care kind of, and then it'll go away. But who knows? We'll watch.
Melanie talked about ex Rebecca and in the same home. I had this. She my fiancé now. Of course, this makes me jealous, like every man in the world.
No, not every man in the world. Not every man in the world. Okay, so it does bother him. Or maybe it just kind of makes him jealous. So let me just paint a picture, okay? You are someone and you get married and you buy a house with your partner. And you live there for 5 years and you get a divorce, and in the settlement you get the house because you love the house. You designed the house, maybe you renovated it, it's your perfect house. You start dating and someone comes over to your house and they're like, is this the house where used to be with your ex, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, okay. I mean, what is there to be jealous of? Okay, so let's actually, jealousy is a worry that your partner is going to leave you for someone else. That's usually the fundamental thing. And there are layers on top of that. Like if your partner is attracted to someone else, like they just think someone else is pretty or someone else is studly or something, then the jealousy happens of like, well, if they're attracted, if they're looking at someone else, they think someone else is attractive, then that's the first step to them leaving me. That's usually the case. Or I'm jealous that they don't say those nice things about me. They say nice things about other people, but they don't say nice things about me. That's jealousy. Okay, so let's imagine that you're a Zied and you're like, okay, you used to live in this building with your ex. What's the jealous component to that? I guess it would be, as Rebecca is saying, I'm not in this building because I want to be reminded of the ex. I think everyone understands, particularly Zied, that Rebecca has no interest in remembering her ex. She has been very clear that she hates him, that she is very angry about that whole thing. She considers it a massive mistake and considers him to be an abusive, terrible human being. So I don't think anyone thinks that Rebecca is somehow secretly trying to move back into the building that she used to live with her ex because she wants to get some sort of energy. I don't even know what that would mean, be reminded of that or something. So then the other threat, I suppose, from Zied's point of view, would be this is not a new place. So everywhere in this building, you've been there before with your ex, and so now I'm jealous. I guess it would be similar. It's like we're at a restaurant. It's like, oh yeah, this used to be my special restaurant with my ex, and you might be like, oh, I want to have a special restaurant with you that isn't one that you used to share with your ex, that kind of thing. Okay. I mean, there's some rationale to this. Like if you had a wedding ring, for example, and say you got the wedding ring back from your partner and you just gave it to your next partner. I think most people wouldn't look at the wedding ring and be like, yay, this used to be worn by your ex. There's certain amount of, might we call energy that we perceive to be associated with objects and places. So I guess there's some rationale to Zied's jealousy here, but I don't know. I just think that if Zied is jealous, it's not that bad, but I guess we'll see.
Rebecca, don't cry about it.
But مش حابب اللحظة إني قاعد أشوف ريبيكا
Why you cry now? Why you cry?
See, I'm guessing he's not that upset. He's not digging on it, but he's not completely beside himself. At least that's the way it seems.
I hate that I got her upset, but I just want to make sure she's in a good place. It's just, really after what you went through before. I want what's best for you.
Well, maybe there's a different tactic, friend. And maybe now you're realizing that you were not using a very good tactic. And it looks like she's about to cry now, too, and she feels bad. She should feel bad. Her tactic was just unfair. And kudos to Rebecca for just crying. A lot of people on the show would convert that sadness into anger and then hostility. How dare you, and da-da-da, and you or avoidance or something. And she was hurt. And she felt ashamed or she was worried and she just cried. And 2 thumbs up to Rebecca for just allowing herself to have that feeling, identifying that feeling, signaling to people around her that she's in a bad place. And that gives both the friend and Zied a chance to take care of her. So good job.
Okay, I am Arabic too, like ex-Rebecca. Me and him not in one country. I am Tunisian man, okay, in Morocco. And I don't care if ex-Rebecca still here before with Rebecca. I don't care. I am with Rebecca now. This is my time.
All right, that's what I thought. I don't know exactly why I thought that. I guess I've experienced enough of Zied to be able to predict that he'd be like, I don't care. It kind of makes me jealous, but I don't care. Let's just move on.
Everything.
I know who Zied is, the kind of character that he has and the man that he is, and nobody else has, and I understand that, but why doesn't anybody trust me?
I trust you. Got my guards up for you, that's all.
All right, so great. So I think Melanie's doing a good job of repairing the situation and making up for it. I trust you. I'm just worried. Okay. I mean, I don't think her tactic was very cool, but I think she's recovering well.
Give me a hug, Rebecca. Come here.
And as I always say, if you can have physical warmth, that can erase a lot of pain. So good job for Melanie. All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself and take care of others, because we all deserve it. We really, really do.